Welcome to day 2 of Uzbekistan versus USA that's happening in Miami, Florida. Team USA is leading currently with 5 to 3, but today we have 8 games of blitz. And this is going to be very exciting because each opponent will play the other 2 times. And the first game that we are going to look at in round 1 is between Nodirbek Abdusattorov and Hikaru Nakamura. Both of them blitz monsters. Nakamura's rating is 2838. Nodirbek's rating is 2820. And this will be super exciting to see. The players are ready. It's 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. Handshake and off we go. Pawn to e4 by Nodirbek, e5 by Hikaru. Yesterday, Hikaru did lose in 22 moves in the Petrov against Sindarov. And look at that. Nodirbek taking on Hikaru. He's like, this is the opening which you may not have prepared. Knight a5 is the main move here. But Hikaru says, well, let me think. I'm not going to make my move quickly. And goes b5 and immediately played bishop f1. Now the idea of this move is because if you take here, I take with the queen and attack this. So when you play bishop f1, if queen d5, I can now play knight c3 and the g2 pawn isn't hanging. That's the point of bishop f1. It may look very silly, but actually it's a very cool move. And Hikaru is a bit surprised that Nodirbek is so well prepared for even this. So he looks upwards, trying to recollect his analysis, takes with the knight. Knight d4 was the other main move in the position. Bishop takes b5. You take the knight, I take your knight with a check and pick up these pieces. So Hikaru now has a few options. Bishop d7 is one, but clearly bishop b7 is the best move. You don't want to be taking this knight as c6 is hanging. Bishop goes to b7 and queen h5. Look at Nodirbek blitzing it out. He's threatening mate in 1. Nothing less than that. And I believe g6, queen d7, queen e7. These are the moves that can be played here. Nodirbek has 3 minutes 5 seconds and Hikaru already down to 1 minute 50 seconds. He plays queen d7, the best move, and d4, boom. The point now is that if you play ed4, I simply castle and I have a huge lead on you. So actually speaking, d4 you have to play very carefully now. a6 could be one idea, g6 could be one idea, h6 could be one other idea. These are the possibilities. But to face this over the board when you are unprepared in a blitz game is complete disaster, I must say. Nodirbek has chosen his opening so smartly. So smartly. Also, notice how the f4 square is controlled here. And Hikaru's time is running. He's down to 1 minute now. Oh my god. But I think Hikaru basically trusts that he can play well with a few seconds. So he's thinking a lot. A good move, g6, and the first move that Nodirbek has begun to think. So that's encouraging. Queen f3 is one possibility, but the best move is queen e2. Lining up your queen against the pawn. So queen e2 played. And now you're threatening to win a pawn with d takes e5. So bishop g7 or bishop e7 could be ideas. But there's also long castle, which is possible. It's a possible move. And he plays long castle. Wow, what a position this is. Hikaru, although he's taken a lot of time, has managed to navigate through the position pretty well. And now Nodirbek has to decide whether he wants to castle, he wants to take this pawn on e5, which is kind of tempting, but he's far behind in development. Now queen f5, bring the queen in. Or maybe king b8, bishop g7. These are the moves that you would like to make. Let's say bishop g7, rook e8. Try to put pressure on the central pawn. What does Hikaru do? He goes a6. And what a big mistake. He shakes his head because he's forgotten that the queen is actually defending the bishop. So bishop takes a6 is happening. But sometimes Hikaru has his tricks. Like bishop a6, he may want to jump in the center because there's no longer a pin. That could be his idea. I mean, don't trust Hikaru's head shake. And that's what Nodirbek is doing amazingly well here. He is not getting influenced by that head shake. Otherwise, he would have taken this. By the way, taking it is not bad. But you don't know that at the board, right? You don't see the bar. Bishop takes a6, knight d4. You can feel the pressure. He takes it. And he asks Hikaru, well, show me what you got. Perhaps Hikaru had nothing. That's the reason why he was shaking his head. There is knight takes e5. If queen e5, you have rook e8 here. But he goes knight d4, bishop b7, king b7. Now look at these two knights. They're pretty strong. The bishop can come out. The rook and queen are ready. So all in all, black does have some compensation. But after queen e4, if white can castle here, it's all over. After that, there's nothing. So you need to play now. You need to do something now. You're already 3 pawns down. Queen f5. Taking on f5 is possible. Takes. But then c2 is hanging. So he plays queen d4. He takes the knight. So now you are 3 pawns down and a knight down. Knight b4. Hikaru is actually going to give up another rook. That would mean a knight, 3 pawns and a rook, and Nodirbek is going after it. And bishop c5 played by Hikaru, threatening a mate, attacking the queen. Insane. You are essentially 11 points down. If queen h8, queen takes f2, king d1, queen takes c2, king e1, knight d3 is checkmate happening on the board. So very interesting move, but there are defensive moves. Queen d2 is possible. Queen f6 is an insanely good move. Because there's no queen f2 then. And if you play bishop f2, I simply play king f1. Hikaru has 8 seconds. Queen f6 found by Nodirbek. Knight takes c2. And he plays king d2. Rook d8. Another rook given. Queen takes f2. Is Hikaru going to checkmate Nodirbek's king? Look at Hikaru as 7, 6, 5. He's trying to find the mate. But he can't do it. He takes on g2 and presses the clock with 2 seconds and apologizes to his opponent. Queen d3 played, attacking the knight, and queen takes h1, king c2, and he resigns there. At this point, Hikaru is down a rook, 2 knights, and a rook and 2 knights. That's a lot of material. And Nodirbek Abdusattorov, well, he was so well prepared. He completely outplayed Hikaru in this encounter.